we have Wicked here. And Wicked, I believe you're the only person who has seen the entire series of Stranger Things at this point.
I have, yeah. I started it 9 years ago at the beginning.
When they were kids and now they're adults with kids of their own.
Yeah, now they're like 40 years old.
Yeah.
Somehow they're older than me.
Look, as somebody who I did not think, I've watched the first season, then they kind of like, whatever, right? And I do like the idea that somehow they've gotten older than you in your time watching it. They just decided they went from 13 to. So, how is that? Are they still in high school or whatever at this point?
So they end it with them graduating. So yeah.
Okay. But
graduating high school.
So they're actually still in high school in the series.
Yes.
Despite them having like full beards and like whatever, like
despite the actors being in their 20s, correct?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, that's not the first time we've seen actors in their 20s back to high school.
They at least look like they're in high school. Like think of like Grease and stuff. They're all like 30. Yeah. They're like high schoolers. So like these young adults can still pull it off. But it's seeing the jump. Like I'll be honest. Like it definitely tugged at my heartstrings because they were adorable little kids and they do flashbacks in the finale, and I'm like, oh. No. I remember when they looked like that. I'm a girl, okay?
Yeah, the only one who doesn't look like a high school, I would have to say, is Millie Bobby Brown.
Because she got the lip fillers.
She got lip fillers and Botox. This girl is 21, 22 years old, and she did all this shit to her face. I saw you share that story, Wicked, where like that on your Instagram, where like this person's memeing and she's like doing all the facial things of Millie Bobby Brown, and it's just. She's just doing one face for everything because she can't move because her face is just solid.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
One emotion forever.
Yeah. She was an adorable little kid, and it's like Hollywood got her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we're going to tell Hollywood got to some of the actors here in just a minute, but we saw the story from Deadline. Stranger Things finale delivers $25 million to movie theaters after New Year's play, more than 6% of that from AMC. So I guess they showed it at a theater and generated $25 million from it.
I'm not surprised.
From concessions revenue, not tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is absolutely silly. But obviously the big story out of this came from the silliness that is the superpower that is ultra gayness. So came from this guy here. Wicked. How did you feel about that? Because some people are saying, whatever.
I think that it was not needed. They could have added, like, tied it into the story, like, because of the whole mind thing that he gets the powers, like he needs to not have any secrets, right? But the fact that they made it 5 minutes long, they took 12 hours to record it for him to say, I don't like girls. And I even said, like, not getting too deep into the finale, it could have been some epic finale that didn't make anybody mad, that they just loved and thought it was perfect. But the series is still going to be overshadowed with that scene. Like, why? What was the need? And 12 hours. Could you imagine taking 12 hours to record that scene? Like, just why? It wasn't needed. Even, that there's a shift happening because even gay people are like, stop with this. Stop. We don't need it in everything, because they make it their whole personality. And there's gay people that say the same thing, like, oh, like, I'm gay, but it's not my whole personality. And that's how it should be. I'm straight. It's not my whole personality. Me liking men, that's not the only thing I talk about in my life. It's so boring, and people, they're getting tired of it. And it's giving gay people a bad name. So that's why they're starting to speak out and like, okay, cut the crap.
Well, I was going to say real quick, sorry, real fast, that was the whole idea in the 90s, was that they wanted to just have rights. They wanted to be you heard him say it every time. We just want to be treated like everybody else. We don't want extra rights. We just want to be able to love who we want to love. And that was it. And my age group, we were behind that. We're like, we're rallying for them to have just that. And then this happened where it's injecting it into literally everything. And it makes absolute sense that they'd want to, in arguably one of the biggest TV series of all time, to have that embedded into it forever, that you need to acknowledge that this guy doesn't like girls. It's critical that you understand that.
And not to mention, it's like it makes you think that they almost turned Noah Schnapp gay because he was a little kid and they're like, are you gay? How do you ask a kid at all what their preference is? That's disgusting, but we know how Hollywood is. That though these kids have been subjected to some weird stuff, like the Patton Oswalt thing. You guys seen that with Finn Wolfhard? He's like, oh, that's a good corn name, and then you see David Harbour and Joe Carey.
He's an insane guy. That one.
He is, but he said this is when he was like a kid too, and then David Harbour and Joe Carey are like and they're just like staring at him like mad during this because Finn Wolfhard was probably like, I don't know, 12 or 13, and they're like, don't answer, don't respond to it, like live, like an interview. Was like these kids, man, I feel for them, and that's probably why Millie Bobby Brown got work done. Pressure in growing up in Hollywood is not good.
Well, but here's the thing. At a certain point, you don't need to worry about growing up or working again, because apparently this guy Will and most of the other actors made $900,000.
Wow.
Every episode.
That's crazy.
Right? So yeah, man, there we are. Like
they're set, and not to mention like residuals probably that they'll be getting. I think out of the main like kid cast, Millie Bobby Brown's probably going to continue to work. And same
she's
with
got that
Finn.
big Netflix deal, so she's set.
And same with Finn Wolfhard, because he was in like the Ghostbusters, It. So I think he's going to continue to work. Joe Carey, he's in a band, so he might just be like, you know what, I'm set. I got the money. I'm just going to play music now. Maya Hawke, obviously, she's probably going to continue to work.
Baby.
Yeah.
But I just checked. So for people who didn't watch Stranger Things, there was 8 episodes for season 5.
Oof. $4.5 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Well, good for him. I mean, you know, good for him. They got the money to do it. And
and
Netflix,
he doesn't have to worry about any acting roles or whatever. He can just pick whatever he wants, should he ever be able to do that, you know? Just like, oh, I want this role just for shits and giggles. It's not a very popular role. I'm not going to make a lot of money out of it, whatever, but it sounds like a fun time. Sure, why not? Like, he's set. Well,
some other interesting things when it comes to Stranger Things is that Netflix quietly canceled the Stranger Things creators' next show. It's like, we're not going to do that.
Queerer things, am I right?
Well,
am I right? Thank you.
Things.
Thank you.
They were supposed to do a Talisman, a Stephen King novel, which I don't know about it, but I guess it was about kids too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also the Duffer Brothers are moving over to Paramount too. So that probably has something to do with it. I'm not sure that has anything to do with the ratings. I think the ratings are still okay for Stranger Things, but yeah, that people are wondering which of the two is why they canceled it. You know, like, is it because, you know, people are complaining about Stranger Things because they're going to Paramount? I don't know.
Well, there's one other little bit about Netflix here, and that, you know, there's the big Netflix Warner Brothers deal, which looks like it's going to happen, which is kind of crazy. But apparently,
scary.
Yeah, and it's even more scary for the theater business, as apparently Netflix only wants movies to be in theaters for 17 days and then go to Netflix afterwards. What is the point of going to the movie theater ever if you're just going to see it in 2.5 weeks? Like, theaters are dying. They will be dead.
They will. I think that's an awful idea, but that's what's going to happen. This is part of the reason why people were scared of Netflix getting Warner Brothers, because they don't care if the theaters go down. They want everybody sitting at home watching. So they're just going to tie more into that, which is silly because look how much money they made off of Stranger Things, putting that in theaters, and look how much money they made off of K-pop Demon Hunters, putting that in theaters. So if they actively are trying to kill theaters, they're not paying attention to the numbers, clearly.
Well, I don't think they're trying to kill theaters. I think what's going to happen is that theaters are going to become a novelty, where it's a special event, where it's not going to be like, oh, what do you want to do tonight? Let's go to the movies. You know what I'm saying? So I think Netflix's goal is to take charge of all the theaters and make it their special, this is a big deal that K-pop is going to be in the theaters. So it's not going to be a regular Friday night occurrence anymore. You're going to shell out cash to watch something on big screen with surround sound. So that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel the same way. Like, okay, an example, the first Five Nights at Freddy's, because they had that for streaming and in theaters, I'm like, oh, I'll just watch it at home. That's what everyone's going to do, for depending on what it is. If it's something like really big and they want to go see it, yeah. But I do think they shouldn't at least tell us that, right? But it's going to be in theaters and eventually go to streaming. Don't tell us the amount of time, right? Because I think if you don't, people will be like, oh, wait, I really want to make sure I can see this, especially people like us that like review things. Got to make sure I go see it. And I was like, oh, well, we'll just review it after it hits streaming, save our money.
I think that's the plan, though. I think the
Yeah.
plan is to discourage us and go, oh, we might as well just subscribe to Netflix. It's going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole plan. And then when they go, guess what? This will be in theaters just for one night. And then we go, oh, okay. You know,
Right.
and then that's what everybody
Yeah.
does.
It could, yeah.
Stranger Things.
That's true.
Obey YouTube. Watch this video. It's suggested for you.